Strategic drift. The main idea you need to get from this video is that the strategy of a company cannot stay stagnant. It needs to adapt and change. We can portray strategic drift on a graph, and on the graph we need to look at the changes, the amount of changes needed, and the amount of time. The changes are external changes, changes in the market, changes in the customer demand. And these changes happen over time. First of all, change is constant. Everything always keeps changing. And the line you are seeing right now is going to portray external changes. This line portrays the external changes in the market. Strategic drift is about how companies deal with these external changes. There are 4 phases to strategic drift. And the second phase is literally named after the entire concept itself. These are the names of the phases: incremental changes, strategic drift, flux, and lastly, transformational change or demise. The first phase is aptly named incremental change. There is not too much change. You will be okay if you just make small and incremental changes to your strategy. The market is slightly changing, but you need to stay vigilant. In the second phase, you need to start drifting. If you don't change at all, or if you keep changing at the level you were changing in phase 1, you are going to feel a little bit financial hit. It is actually pretty easy to ignore all the signs you are getting from the market. And in phase 3, you simply cannot ignore the external changes in the market. You know you have to change. But the top management can be a bit reluctant at the point. Why does this go round and round? It is to show the reluctance and the force to change together. Some graphs will show it like this. It's the same. In this phase, you have to recognize that you have to change. And if you don't, well, there will be bad news for you. In the last phase, there is only one option here. Well, technically 2 options, but if you need to survive, then there is only one option. There has to be a drastic change. Your business will be completely new at this point. Or, if you fail to adapt, you will be out of the market. That is the demise. You are not going to be able to survive in the market. There are various reasons behind why strategic drift can occur. The first and the biggest would be prior success. A manager might ignore the signs and keep doing what they were doing before if they had been successful doing that for a long time. The company might fail to understand what the customers want. They might not be able to read the market properly. It does happen from time to time. Groupthink can also happen. Everyone will keep saying everything is great right up until the company goes bankrupt. Avoiding this from happening is actually easier said than done. A lower level manager that just joined the company 6 months ago is not likely to go to a senior manager and tell them that what they are doing is wrong and they need to change their way of doing business. But that is exactly what needs to happen. The culture should be shaped in a way that encourages newer employees to speak up. Newer employees are not always right, but they can spot these changes and the top level managers need to take them into consideration. You need to stay vigilant. A slight drop in sales in a quarter can be ignored. But you need to figure out exactly why did it happen. Remember, market changes do not happen overnight. It takes time. But you need to keep watch every night. Otherwise, these small incremental changes will become too big to handle. The most common example that everyone talks about when talking about strategic drift is that of Kodak, the camera company that was huge before but did not keep up with the changes in the market. There is a very good video discussing the Kodak case in details made by Company Man. I will leave the link in the description below. You can check that out. Now for my hypothetical example, if you are selling cars, let's say your cars run on olive oils. Yeah, I know. Let's say your cars run on olive oils and the market is starting to slowly move into electric cars. If you try to go for making cars running on palm oils, then you are making small changes. People are going to buy from you, but not that much. Industry is actually moving on to electricals. Then the industry will start to move on faster and faster. And when almost everybody starts using electric cars, you have to either go for electrics or get out. Maybe you can keep selling tires, but if you don't start making electric cars, or start a new revolutionary way of powering automobiles, you are done for. You will not be able to keep up in the market. I hope you understand the concept of strategic drift. The main idea is that market will always keep changing and you need to look out for that and change your strategies properly. That is all I'm going to talk about strategic drift. Remember, you can like, comment, share, subscribe and everything else. I'm also on Patreon. If you want to help out with whatever it is I'm doing in this channel, you can help me out on Patreon. And for bonus section, well, the sunlight we get on Earth takes 8 minutes to travel from the surface of the sun to Earth. But the photon that creates the light was actually created a long time ago, approximately 170,000 years ago. If you want to know about the details on why that is, I will leave a couple of links in the description section below. One from TED Ed and one from It's Okay to Be Smart. But that is bonus for today. The light source we get here was actually created a long time ago, and it takes only 8 minutes for light to travel from sun to earth. And this is the official end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. That is, if you are still watching. You know what? If you are not watching, still thank you if you clicked on this video, but clicked off before this point. Lastly, I really hope you have learned something new today. Goodbye for now.